that they're paid by a con.
SummerSlam 2025. Show wasn't very good.
No. It was a weak pay-per-view.
I thought the main event was like atrocious. And Gunther did everything in his power. He tried so hard. But CM Punk was absolutely, completely gassed out for at least 15 minutes of this 30-minute match. And it just dragged on forever.
The Roman Reigns and Jey Uso versus Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker.
This was the best match on the show.
I thought so, pretty clearly.
Yeah.
And
it's saying something when the second best match on the show featured Jelly Roll.
I agree with that, too.
Who was less blown up than CM Punk.
I agree with that, too.
Yes. The original match was going to have Bad Bunny and Travis Scott. And Travis Scott does not appear to be on good terms with this company anymore. Mm-hmm. And, you know, they got this Jelly Roll in. And they had to put a match together with Jelly Roll. And I thought it was absolutely brilliantly put together.
Mm-hmm. I think Logan Paul may have been my favorite wrestler on this entire show. He was so fucking good in this match.
Listen, people are going to think that, like, I'm saying this because I don't like Phil Brooks or whatever. Bro, I'm 50, okay? I'm telling you this right now. CM Punk does not need to be going 30 minutes under any circumstances.
And Punk grabs him, gets a second go to sleep. I thought to myself, okay, they're at least into the sequence of finishing near falls now. And Gunther stayed down. And that was the end. Like they cut the end of the match out. So Punk is celebrating. Seth's music hits. And he tosses his crutches aside, sprints down to the ring, smashes CM Punk with it over and over again, cashes in, hits a curb stomp, and wins. Seth Rollins, your new world champion.
They had this plan for SummerSlam that he would do a surprise cash-in after they pretended he was injured. And even though pretty much I think everybody figured out what was going on, they didn't change it. This was the story they wanted to tell, that CM Punk was going to win the title and Seth was going to screw him. And just because people knew that it was likely to happen, they didn't change it. They went along with their story, and so I'm glad they did that.
Naomi versus Io Sky versus Rhea Ripley had a great match. Naomi's entrance with her father playing awesome electric guitar as she came down the ramp, maybe the coolest entrance ever. It was quite great.
But overall, I would say this was a very good opener.
I really enjoyed this. Io is...
Yeah, Craig's here, everybody.
Yeah, hi. Everybody.
I actually was not sure until right this second.
Yes.
I thought I heard it, but yeah.
Here he is.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
This match was incredible.
As far as, like, I'm worried I may actually see someone die here, I think this is the most violent match I've seen in years and years and years.
Honestly, the only time I was really scared was when Candice got shoved off that ladder and she went through the ladder bridge, and I thought for sure she broke like 10 bones. It was supposed to be a no DQ match. They had 1,000 ideas. And sometimes you have to take 1,000 ideas and get rid of 60% of them. They had crowbars, canes, zip tie, chairs. She takes a bump and her hands come out of the zip ties, and she has to put her hands back into the zip ties.
That did happen.
This match had heat. The people were into it. You know, they did a lot of callbacks to Eddie, and the chair spot was funny, and the wrestling was good. The heel turn was a failure. It fucking sucked. And so, if the solution is to just do a promo and reverse everything, great! It's not like it made the show worse.
No.
This show was way better with John Cena as a babyface in his last ever SummerSlam.
This is one of my favorite matches of all time. Well, at least of 2025, for sure.
You mean with John Cena?
What's that?
You mean with John Cena?
This is one of my favorite pro wrestling matches in 2025.
Oh,
wow.
I thought this match was incredible. It reminded me, in a lot of ways, of Rock and Hogan in Toronto.
I thought this match was it was great. And John Cena was incredible. Cody did a great job. But it was like the John Cena show, you know? It was like nothing against Cody, but this was the John Cena show. He over-delivered in this match more than any other match in his career. I would say that. Cody did a great job. It was everything WrestleMania should have been, but wasn't. When Brock Lesnar showed up, all of a sudden everyone's like, oh my God, Vince is coming back, Vince is coming back, Vince is next, Vince is next. Just because Brock came back, it may be a situation where they think, all right, well, you know, there's no evidence that he did whatever she claims that he did, so we'll bring him back. I just want to say that I don't think Brock coming back means Vince is imminently returning. I would be 10 times more astounded if Vince showed up anytime soon. I don't think that's going to happen for a lot of reasons. But I am very, very surprised they brought Brock back. I would not have done that.
As of 2020, the most liked picture in the history of Instagram has been of what object?
Implants.
I was going to say.
An egg.
An egg.
That's it.
Thank God.
Why do you say that, Bryan?
We needed you to ask the questions like 6 times to figure out what the question was. And then one of the answers was an egg.
Boo.
God. Is that egg that Vince liked? Remember Vince and that egg? God.
Are you done? I'm gonna quit.
Get out of here. God. 60.5 million likes on that damn egg. Somebody
Really?
send me a picture of this egg. I want to check it out for myself.
Wow, this is exciting.
You're an idiot.
If you
Craig,
wanna
Craig
hear
that joke was not
something-
all it's cracked up to be.
Bryan, you want to
I
hear
hate
something about
everyone
a
on
weird...
this show.
We got yolks.
What now, Granny?
I said, you want to hear a crazy thing about a dream?
I'm let you get away
I
with that
sure
one.
do. All of this hard work I have done for years, and we're stuck at 111,000 subscribers on YouTube. And this fucking egg, it's got 60.5 million likes.
You have 65 million...
No,
people.
the egg does.
Oh. Huh?
The egg.
Why are we still talking about
The egg. The egg has 60 million likes, Granny.
But there has to be people that like it.
Yeah. A lot of people liked that egg.
I'm just saying, do you have 65?
No, I don't. The egg does. That's my point. What am I doing with my life?
Jon Moxley versus Speedball Bailey. God damn, what a match this was. Awesome, awesome, awesome match.
So I was fascinated when the opening match on the show involved Speedball after that MVP story had come out earlier in the day.
Yeah.
About how MVP didn't like Speedball. I don't think there's a serious issue between MVP and Mike Bailey. Maybe there's something there, but clearly, I mean, everything's good enough that they did a segment backstage, okay? My point is, the fact that they did that segment for social media doesn't mean that the entire rest of the story is made up whole cloth, okay? It's not. Where there's smoke, there's fire. There is some heat on MVP. There are some people that don't like MVP. There's some people that don't like how the Hurt Business is booked. I mean, none of this is new is the other thing. It's like, why did this all of a sudden come out this week? Like, we've been talking about it forever.
The gimmick here is Alex and Renee, or excuse me, Alex and Tony, and probably Renee actually, have a non-sexual friendship. That's the exact terms they use. But Tony is rubbing...
Tony must really not like you to have a non-sexual friendship.
She's... Queen Aminata is now not only is she back to doing the chocolate kisses, but has now added a hand gesture which I can only describe as spreading the cheeks. Wrestling is strange sometimes. Aminata and Sky Blue were on the floor with a chair, and Sky tries to code Blue, and I don't know what they were trying to do, but I guarantee it's not what happened. But she just jumps down, lands on her feet, and throws her own head into the chair.
This is her finisher, not just some random move. And if you watch it, Aminata didn't do anything wrong. She just bent forward to take the move, didn't move. It wasn't her fault. It was just Sky Blue fucked up her own move, landed on her feet, had no idea what to do, and so she just headbutted the chair violently. That we're going to see on Twitter for years to come. When Mercedes had like 2 belts, and then she won like a 3rd belt, I was like, okay, this is pretty cool. It's a cool belt collector gimmick. But once you've got these cheap indie belts and you've got Ada, it just, now I don't like it. Plus, she's really going to go all over the world and drop the title to 4 indie wrestlers. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't know. I was into it for a while, but now it's kind of goofy.
I disagree. I think it's still awesome.
Why?
Because belts are cool.
Okay, Tony.
They reveal the painting, and it's Kyle Fletcher completely naked, except for this TNT Championship belt across his crotch. And they don't have any pyro, actually, just very loud bombs going off, and then one sad little streamer. And the Kyra at the bottom reads Max and Jeremy. Inside baseball by the trucks is one of the announcers, and the other two go crazy. The fans are chanting jobbers. Your Uncle Crazy Wayne would be proud. And then the match begins. Holy Christ.
I was an advocate of Young Bucks winning at All In, and this was a prime example of that would have been the wrong call. Because the Young Bucks as fucking jobbers, Max and Jeremy, when they actually were shoot jobbers in TNA, that was their name. What was it? What was it?
Generation Me. Max and Jeremy Buck.
Max and Jeremy Buck. Fans are chanting jobbers. Justin Roberts reads the thing verbatim with the commas.
Stokely Hathaway, with intense anger and rage that can only be built up in a tiny little body over decades of time. I'm short. I'm bald. I can't get any hoes. I've been fighting my entire life. Your main event is MJF versus Mark Briscoe.
What did you think of this match?
I thought it was a good TV main event.
Okay, so I did as well. Dave thought this match was like great or something. This guy made fun of your dead brother. He vowed to murder this man without remorse, which would send him to hell and he would never see his brother in heaven again. That's what this thing was built on. And he failed again. And didn't even get a comeback afterwards. He failed and then got his ass kicked afterwards.
Blake Monroe versus Kalani Jordan. I was absolutely flabbergasted, blown away, couldn't believe my eyes. Maybelline was the in-ring, on-the-mat sponsor. That's amazing. That would absolutely never have happened 5 years ago. At any point in the decades and decades and decades before this. That was a big deal.
I'm not watching Impact every week like I was going to. Vic refers to him as the personal concierge of TNA, and Booker and Corey don't even say anything because they have absolutely no idea who this guy is.
Yeah.
And I'm furious. And then, later it's explained to me, no, that's actually his name. His name is the personal concierge of TNA on TNA.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, fine. All right, fine. There's a guy named Jake something. I don't give a shit what his name is, but for those of us that don't regularly watch TNA, can you put on the screen the personal concierge of TNA or alert us that that's what he's known or something? Instead, as a viewer, I'm watching it going, why is there an unidentified man on here? Why does nobody know what his name is? I was being driven batty. And Cutler James, all of a sudden, he grabs the mic and he screams, "We've been on your ass for a while now. Right up your butt." And this fucking crowd, who had barely been paying attention, they heard "right up your butt," and they fucking start howling with laughter. And they start laughing, and I think it was half the crowd heard it and half didn't. And then the half that didn't hear it, someone told them what he said, and then they start laughing. And they literally laughed through the entire rest of this promo. And I was like, this act is dead. They're dead. She starts singing Joe Hendry's song. And as soon as she says his name, the camera goes from her and zooms down to the bottom of a freezer. There's a freezer backstage. And fucking Joe Hendry pops out of the freezer with his big smile, and they hit his theme.
This is dangerous.
The fucking crowd went wild.
Don't hide in
I was
refrigerators.
fucking crying at this entrance.
Main event, Tatum Paxley versus Sol Ruca.
Tatum Paxley has stood up, and she is holding the doll, and she is looking at it. And she's looking at it. And she's looking at it. And the women are brawling, and she's just looking at it, fucking unmoving. And she's looking at this fucking doll. And I'm like, do something! And she's looking at it. And all of a sudden, Soul flies in and hits her with the Soul Snatcher and pins her. What in the fuck was that finish?